They named me Phantom Pulse, but I was the heartbeat that defied the storm. Welcome to Revenge Reads, where stories of grit and redemption hit hard. Subscribe and ring the bell to join the ride. We drop epic tales weekly to keep you hooked. The wind in Nome, Alaska, carved silence sharper than any blade. From my frost-rimmed window, the airfield lay barren, a frozen wound under a leaden sky. Each dawn, I buffed my flight helmet, its chill a tether to memories I couldn't release. Silence wasn't calm, it was the ghost of those left behind. My husband vanished before the first snow melt, his tracks fading like promises. "The sky owns you," he'd muttered, and he was right. Divorce papers sat frozen on the counter, ink cracked like my resolve. My father's monthly letters, scrawled in tight script, read, "You climb the clouds, but you've lost the ground." His copper ring, heavy with the scent of jet fuel, stayed in my pocket, a lesson that precision was duty. A midnight email pierced the quiet, Joint Special Operations Training, Pearl Harbor Naval Base. I'd vowed never to return, but silence was a slower death than any gale. Packing light, I tucked the ring close. The roster listed Admiral Ethan Ward, a name tied to a mission, Operation Ice Pulse, where his brother, Lieutenant Caleb Ward, died under my command. The hangar wind screamed, but it couldn't bury the past. In Alaska, nothing ever melts clean. I was 31 when the Bering Sea storm devoured the night. Radar died, winds roared past 140 miles per hour, and the tower begged me to abort. "If we wait, they're gone," I growled, shoving the throttle. Lieutenant Mara Holt, my co-pilot, buckled in, her grin defiant. The manual called it suicide. The manual didn't know us. We skimmed the ice, skids brushing snow, guided by starlight's faint gleam. Bullets ripped the dark, one nicked Holt's shoulder, another slashed the fuel line. I gripped the stick, thighs burning, until we saw them, seals signaling from a jagged crevasse. I landed blind, rotors clawing the storm. A soldier staggered in, frostbitten. "You made it," he rasped. "Always," I said. His name was Caleb Ward. We saved them, but the return fried an engine. We hit base on vapor, lights winking a mile off. Months later, Caleb died in another crash, another storm, under Ethan's orders. My mission, coded Ice Pulse, earned me Phantom Pulse. "You outran death," my commander said, "and carried the living." The name clung, but each whisper stung. Survival isn't always glory. Pearl Harbor's air was thick, salty, smug. The SEAL base's sign read, "Only the bold come back." I smirked, the words a quiet wound. Admiral Ethan Ward entered the briefing, his authority bending the room. "Lieutenant Commander Nora Cade," he said, eyes skimming past. "She'll guide air ops." His tone dismissed me, but when he called me honey mid-briefing, the room's laughter burned. "Let's see if our girl pilot can teach us about gusts," he sneered. I jotted one line, "Bide. Strike true." Outside, Ensign Lila Chin approached, hesitant. "They're just joking, ma'am." I held her gaze. "That's where damage begins, Lila." She nodded, seeing herself in my shadow. Later, scanning files, I found it, Hawk Unit, my rescued team. In the mess hall, Ethan mocked a failed Ice Pulse rescue. Unaware, I stood feet away. The laughter died in my throat. At 0700, the briefing room crackled with bravado. Ethan cut me off. "What's your call sign, honey?" The room erupted. I stared him down. "Phantom Pulse." Silence fell like a stalled rotor. The screen flickered off. "That covers me for storms," I said. By lunch, whispers spread. "She's the one who saved Hawk Unit." Ethan's aide summoned me. "You shamed me," he said. "You mocked a ghost," I shot back. "Your brother died because you ignored a pilot's call." His face paled. "Stop punishing the living for your failure." That night, Lila slipped me a file, Operation Kodiak Breach, Caleb's final mission. A hidden note, pilot urged abort. Denied by Commander Ward. My gut twisted. Ethan hadn't just lost Caleb, he doomed him with arrogance. Security caught me in the records room. "Restricted files," they snapped. "It's my truth," I said. Lila photographed the page. "If you fall, this lives." Ethan called at 2 a.m. "Stop, Nora." I hung up, sliding my father's ring on. Precision is duty. By dawn, the file was gone. A note remained. You pushed too far, Phantom. Suspension followed, but in the holding room, Ethan left a recorder. Caleb's voice crackled. Tell my brother the pilot was flawless. Tears fell. Ethan hadn't buried guilt. He'd carried absolution he couldn't face. At the hearing, I spoke steady, warnings ignored. Lives lost. Pride killed them. Ethan rose. I denied the abort. I've blamed every pilot since. I didn't demand his end, only reassignment to teach failure's weight. He was demoted. I was named head of flight ops training. A year later, at Pearl Harbor's graduation, Ethan spoke. Nora Cade led through silence. She taught me to own mistakes. The crowd stood, cheering the truth, not the tale. In D.C., the Air and Space Museum unveiled my helicopter, Phantom Pulse, gleaming under golden lights. A young woman, Ava Ward, handed me Ethan's notebook. His last words, she tamed my storm. The Navy named the next model P-01. As it roared overhead, I whispered, they called me Phantom Pulse. I just wanted them home. Thanks for diving into this story with Revenge Reads. Hit subscribe, like, and share to keep the pulse of epic tales alive.